The focus of this lesson is GDP, or gross domestic product. Now, before I go into detail what GDP is, I recommend that you watch our lesson over the factors of production, because we're going to be using some terminology from that lesson in this one. So in order to get the full grasp of GDP from this lesson, I recommend you watch that. Now, gross domestic product is the sum of all goods and services produced within a country's borders in a given year. That last part, produced within a country's borders in a given year, is very important. We'll talk about that in another lesson where we take GDP and compare it to GNP and what the differences are. Now, GDP can actually be calculated with a formula, and this formula is GDP equals C plus I plus G plus Xn. Now, to a lot of people, this is just a bunch of different letters, and what do they mean? Well, C stands for consumption, and that's like consumers interacting on a market. They're buying goods like boxes. I stands for investment, which is more of the business side of that market. They're buying capital, they're buying factories, etc., etc. And G is government spending. This is like the local, state, and federal levels. So this is things such as defense. And then X, or Xn, is net exports. And in this case, net exports is just exports minus imports. So if you have $2,000 worth of cars that you're exporting to a different country, and you're importing $1,000 worth of food, your net exports is $2,000 minus $1,000, which is $1,000 your net exports. But we'll talk more about calculating GDP and going in depth on what C and I and G and X all consist of, because for a lot of different classes or sections or subjects, whatever you want to call it, this is enough for what you know about GDP, but in case you need to know more, we'll be breaking it down in a future lesson. So if you're interested in that, I recommend subscribing to our YouTube channel so you can stay up to date on our lessons and receive instant notifications. See you guys in the next lesson.